Trump just dropped a ton of executive orders, and unsurprisingly, there's some juicy ones in there, and I think that a lot of them are going to be lost amid this flurry of executive orders, which I think was the point. So let's start off with the idea if you have Medicare or Medicaid. He wrote an executive order that rescinded a price drop in your medications. One of these executive orders has said that it is now legal to accept bribes and gifts from lobbyists. That's quite interesting because I thought we were supposed to drain the swamp and not tell the swamp creatures, hey, we're open for business. But this is unsurprising because his rhetoric does not match his actual policies, and we're seeing this right away. Also, let's talk about why they decided to have affirmative action passed in the 60s. Well, it's because once they made it illegal to discriminate against people who were a minority status, it's really hard to actually police that. So this was a way to avoid the companies that would say, oh, well, we just don't have any black people here because none of the black people who've applied are qualified. You see how people who are racist or who have unconscious bias can do things that result in discrimination and basically get away with it, unless if there are laws that are basically saying your company shouldn't be all white. Well, guess that's something that we don't have anymore right now. There's a lot of culture war crap, and I think that is to help distract the base from all of these oligarchical power structures that are being reinforced. We're getting screwed over by the billionaire class. I mean, if you look at the people that attended the inauguration, like, the billionaires are happy with this. This is something that is going to impact the middle and working class in a negative way, but wealthy people are going to do well because he's claiming to try and help with our prices by removing regulations. But unless if you also say that profit margins are not allowed to increase, these companies have no reason not to pocket the additional money that they make by not having to follow these regulations, unless if you have some sort of windfall profit tax or some sort of cap on profits that force companies to take any savings that they get from lowered regulations and pass it on to the consumer. You're supposed to first prioritize profits to your shareholders. That's your fiduciary duty when you work for a publicly traded company. So if you lowered your prices just because you could, just because you had some sort of price saving measure in another area, then that would not be prioritizing your shareholders' profits, and it would not be fulfilling your fiduciary duty. So this decrease in regulations to protect the consumer is only going to be additional profit for the companies and is not going to lower prices at all. Not to mention the fact that he tried to end birthright citizenship, which is protected by the 14th Amendment. But, you know, he also said we should suspend the Constitution in the past, so I'm not super surprised by that either. Trump also reinstated Schedule F, and I've made plenty of videos on my channel about why Schedule F is very dangerous and why it is a huge concern for our country and why it is a stepping stone to make Project 2025 our reality.